In concepts 1 through 6, we talked about how it's our privilege to face reality and start telling it like it is. How it's our privilege to start focusing a little bit more on the long term. How it's our privilege to stop blaming and to start forgiving others and forgiving ourselves. How it's our privilege to start embracing change. How it's our privilege to start focusing more on the positive and less on the negative. And how it's our privilege, not our obligation, to do all of the things on our get-to-do list. Now it's time for us to talk about envisioning a brighter future. Vision is the act or power of anticipating that which may or will come to be. A visionary is a person of unusually keen foresight. Visionaries see what's coming before others see it. Does this mean visionaries can predict the future? Yes and no. They don't really predict the future. They see what's coming. They invent what's coming. They think about what can happen and then make it happen. They create their own destiny. How do you do that? The great U.S. statesman William Jennings Bryan used to say, "Destiny is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. Destiny is not a thing to be waited for, it's a thing to be achieved." In other words, you create your own destiny by consciously choosing to create your own destiny. Choosing requires consciousness, as we discussed in concept number 1. Creating your destiny is a long-term process, as we discussed in concept number 2. Creating your destiny is something only you can do. It requires you to take personal responsibility, as we discussed in concept number 3. Creating your destiny will require change, as we discussed in concept number 4. If you want your destiny to be a positive one, it will require you to focus on positive things, as we discussed in concept number 5. Creating your destiny is something you get to do, not something you have to do, as we discussed in concept number 6. See how these concepts are building on each other? The concepts were put into a specific order for specific reasons, and I think you're probably beginning to see why. Success doesn't come and find you. You have to go out and get it. Ralph Waldo Emerson defined the process of creating your destiny a little differently. He said, "Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a set of habits, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny." Step number 1 in that process, sowing a thought, is what we're discussing now in concept number 7. Step 2, sowing an action, is what we're going to discuss when we get to concept number 10. Step 3, sowing a set of habits, is also going to be discussed in concept number 10. Step 4, sowing a character, will be discussed in concept number 12. Step 5, reaping a destiny, is what the entire system is all about. When creating your destiny, you can choose to change coal into diamonds. After all, a diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handled stress extremely well. The choice is yours. So which box will you check? Life is what happens to me, or life is what I make happen? The choice is yours. Until number 7 states, until we begin envisioning the biggest, boldest, and brightest possible future for ourselves, we will never achieve our maximum potential and evolve as a species. Vision is a picture of the future that creates passion within you today. So I ask you, what are you passionate about? If you're lucky, you already know what it is. If you already know, wonderful. If not, don't worry. As you work through the system, it will help you figure it out. That which you're the most passionate about is probably what you should be working on the hardest. But many people don't ever do that. That's because we get so wrapped up in our day-to-day activities and in just getting through the day that we don't find time to work on our passion. I've learned from experience that if you want to spend time working on your passion, you're going to need to intentionally set aside time when you shut out your distractions and work only on that which you're passionate about. But remember, setting aside time is not something you have to do. As we discussed in concept number 6, it's something you get to do. While you're at it, be sure that you don't spend all of your time and energy working on someone else's passion. Be sure to save some of your time and energy to work on your passion. Look inside yourself and figure out what's most important to you. Formulate a vision of a bright future for yourself. No one else can do it for you, and I can promise you that no one else will. As we discussed in concept number 3, you have to take responsibility for your own passion and to work on it. Here's another question. Is vision something you're born with, or is it a finely honed skill you cultivate? It's both. So how does one cultivate visionary skills? First, you apply law number 1, the law of actuality. Use all your senses and notice what's going on inside you and around you. Most people don't do that. Apply law number 2, the law of the long term. Devote more of your attention to the long term and less to the short term. Most people don't do that. Apply law number 5, the law of focus, and focus more of your time and energy on creation and less on consumption. Most people don't do that. Apply law number 6, the law of perspective, and try looking at the process a little differently. Most people don't do any of these things. Hence the need for law number 7, the law of vision. Visionaries see the future finished in advance. Visionaries see that which others do not see. Visionaries see that which is possible before it becomes obvious. Consequently, one must look inside themselves and form a vision of their best possible future. No one else will do it for you. In plain English, look around and start noticing things others do not see. Envision your best possible future as no one else will do it for you. To put it even more plainly, pay more attention, especially to the long term. Benefit number 7 states, by incorporating law number 7, the law of vision, into our lives, we will be creating a society that is based upon our visions, passions, and interests, as opposed to one based upon the visions, passions, and interests of others. Doesn't that sound like an exciting prospect? One that's definitely worth pursuing? Are you ready for more? If so, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified as I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Be sure to watch the videos all the way to the end, as the stuff at the end is usually just as important as the stuff in the beginning, if not more. With that said and done, it's time for you to move on to the next video in the playlist. Concept number 8, learning to give first.